work as a lifeguard at Barton Springs Pool. I want to thank Mayor Adler for allowing us to meet yesterday with your staff. We had a very good meeting. Took us a whole hour, go over our entire proposal, and I think it was very productive, and I appreciate that time that you gave us, so thank you. I'm actually in a very good mood today because I woke up today and I read the newspaper, and I saw that ACC raised their minimum wage to $20 an hour. They were in a similar position as us a couple of weeks ago. Their budget writers had drafted a proposal for only $18 an hour, but their board of trustees decided their people are worth more than $18 an hour, and what they arrived at was $20. So that gives me hope that the people in our community, whether they work for City of Austin or any other job, and the elected officials, they value the work of the city employees, and there is a pathway to $22 an hour. I know you can find that pathway. And lifeguards have a lot of requests that we talked about yesterday with Mayor Adler's staff. One of those was full-time status for up to 20 guards. But in order to get the $22 an hour, we're willing to not have that happen this year. 4 of those guards would cost $258,000. 20 would cost $1 million. But it is more important to us, for everybody in the city of Austin, to get that $22 an hour than it is for 4 or 20 of us to be regular employees with full-time benefits at the end of this year. So I know there's a pathway that you can find to get to the 22, and I hope that you will look for ways to find other sources in the budget that can be used for that $22. One thing maybe you should not cut, and this is something we push for, and it's been answered by PARD through the Q&A portal, that paid training for lifeguards, when they first sign up for a course on day 1, they are on the payroll. We asked that, we pushed for that. Councilmember Fuentes submitted that as a Q&A, and the response from PARD. Therefore, in 2022, 2023, PARD plans to hire course participants and allow them to be on payroll while they attempt to complete their certifications, required training, and onboarding. That is a major change and will definitely help the staffing and the operating of all the pools open if you do this one thing, plus the wage increase those 2 things. But paid training is something that never has been tried, and it's something that I hear often, that they don't want to go to that course because it's not paid and it takes 40 hours and it costs them $700. So if it gets paid, you're going to have a full open pools next summer. So thank you very much. I appreciate your.
Mr. Cobb, before you
Councilmember
walk
Ellis,
away.
go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I just really appreciate your continued advocacy for the lifeguards in our community. I know that there's at least a number of colleagues, if not all of us, really support trying to make sure our lifeguards are taken care of. And I've definitely heard the calls to make sure that more pools are open and that more pools can be open longer, because we all know it's been 100 degrees as long as we can see behind us and as long as we can see in front of us. And so we know that's a really valued community service, and we appreciate you and especially the year-round lifeguards, but definitely the summer lifeguards as well.
Well, thank you. And if I can respond, the issue of pools open longer, there was money saved this year because 13 never opened all summer and only 600 lifeguards were hired. So that money is already in the budget for this fiscal year. And if it doesn't get spent by the end of the year, it goes back to wherever, not to PARD. But PARD could spend that money and keep the pools open another 2 or 3 or 4 weeks if they wanted to. So it is hot, and you could keep the pools open longer if PARD wants to.
I appreciate that. Thank you for your comments.